Hi, and welcome to How to Set Goals and Achieve Them. But who am I? I'm Petra, and my passion is all about following your dreams and goals. I was and am still a dreamer of wanting to do many things, but something I learned is that without concrete goals and a plan to making happen, I wasn't going to do them. For more than 20 years, I had talked about that book I would write one day, but I would just always just talk about it. And then I was faced with a life and death situation that made me realize life's too short to not do the things I want to do. And then I ended up writing my first book in 9 weeks, from start to publish. And yes, I've been setting goals ever since, from earning my master's degree in mental health counseling to writing four more additional books and even creating coloring books. But more importantly, I learned that I was making excuses of why I didn't make them happen in the first place. And as I watched my son fight for his life and do things that seemed miraculous at times, I realized he faced everything without making an excuse. And so I learned a thing or two that I am now so excited to share with you. If you want a different kind of life, you need some goals. The reality is that if you want to make things happen for really living a life that feels good in every shape or form, you have to have some direction. And that is what goals do for you, because now you're able to focus on what it is you want and how to make it happen. This is where you get to choose to be in control of your life, because so many times we feel like we don't have any control. And sure, there are a few things we don't have control over. However, we have control of what we're doing and how we're showing up for them. You need goals that motivate. One of the key things is setting goals is to know why you want to achieve them in the first place. What is the goal's purpose? What will it give you? What will it mean to you, your life, and maybe even your career if you achieve that goal? Those are your motivational factors and actually committing to doing the work and making it happen. One of the models to achieving your goals is the SMART model. And that means your goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. The more clear and concise you are about your goal, the easier you will feel motivated. But that goal also needs to be measurable. Just saying I'm going to write a book obviously isn't going to do it. But I'm going to write a book by such and such date allows me to measure my own progress. And then, of course, can you really achieve that goal with everything you have going on in your life? Can you absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, make it happen? Do you have the tools and resources to help you achieve that goal? Do you know people that could help you make that goal a reality? All of those things factor in on how attainable your goal is. And then, of course, is this goal even relevant to what you want to be doing, have in your life and your career? It doesn't do you any good setting a goal that doesn't even support what you're trying to achieve in the big scheme of things. And something that I've discovered in my own journey is that when I set myself deadlines, I'm a lot more likely to get it done. Like I've mentioned, I wrote my first book in 9 weeks without a deadline. But by my third book, I had written that within a month because I gave myself a deadline. Deadlines not only fuel you, but they can help you develop an action plan that you can truly commit to. And it may mean you have to really evaluate how quickly you're going to want or need to achieve your goal. And this is another big one. Write your goals down. Goals that are not written down tend to not get to achieved. If you don't write them down, they're not going to get done. I can't say this enough. But here's something neat that happens when you do write them down. Your mind will remind you, like a nagging like a bug flying around your head, hey, remember that goal you want? Have you done the work yet? But writing down your goal also makes it a bit more real for you. And something that I encourage you to do is to post your goals somewhere where you can see them every day as a constant reminder of what you want to achieve. Now that you have a goal and that you know what you want to do and when you want to do it by, it's time to create an action plan so you know your journey. I like to do some reverse engineering by writing that goal on top of the page and then brainstorm everything about what needs to happen to make this goal a reality. For example, and we're going to go back to the book idea. If you want to write a book, decide how many words that book will have. Is it 50,000 words, 100,000 words? And if the deadline is 90 days, then think about how many days you're going to actually write. Are you going for 3 days a week, 5 days a week, or even ambitiously enough for 7 days a week? Although I will caution you that 7 days a week is probably a little unrealistic. And you can do some math and figure out how many words a day you're going to write, or maybe how many words a week. And some things you may want to consider. Who will do your editing? Who or what will you use to publish? And that means traditional versus self-publishing. So there's some additional steps you're going to have to do. So write down everything you know and don't know about helping you achieve your goal, because yeah, you might need to do some research on what to do. And then once you have done your brainstorm, take the time to write down the individual steps in the order of priority that need to happen. You're not going to climb a mountain in one day, because there's some things that you have to do, right? You have to pack your backpack. You have to get all your gear together. And then how many miles a day are you going to climb? When are you going to rest? All that needs to be in your action plan. And now that you know what needs to happen and in the order of how they're going to happen, you can write them down in your planner with a lot more ease. Working backwards from your deadline, only you will know how much you can write in a day or in a week. But the key thing is that it needs to be written in your planner where you can see it and hold yourself accountable to getting it done. Sometimes the challenge is sticking with it, because now that you have a goal and an action plan, it's time to get self-disciplined. Having your why in your mind, or even on a sticky note to remind you, can sometimes be just the fuel to sit down and do the work. If just a planner isn't enough, create reminders. Give yourself rewards for reaching various milestones. Something that can be really helpful is to set some focus hours. And I do this on a consistent basis. And that means 2 to 3 hours that you can spend uninterrupted time working on that thing you want to do. Something important is to tell people that you're not going to be available, and that includes your family. And also, make time for a weekly review on your progress. You want to make sure that the relevance and the necessity and the value remain high as you work towards accomplishing your goal. Setting goals are more than merely saying you want something to happen. To find success, you need to clearly define exactly what you want and understand why you want it in the first place. Implement the steps in all your goal-setting endeavors and watch as you accomplish each one. For more tips on how to achieve goals, visit www.therebelsden.com.